Today we're here at the IDI 18E machine. We're going to go through the unpackaging process and the basic setup just to get you ready to get going. Now once you've checked it for damage and you're good with that, now we're going to go through with unwrapping. When you get the machine, there's a little tool holder on the side of the hopper. It does come with a utility knife, a multi-tester if you need to do some troubleshooting, and the nut driver that we'll use to attach the hoses later. But for now, we're just going to grab the knife, open that up, and we're going to unwrap the machine. Now after we've removed the packaging, there's usually going to be some banding tying the machine to the pallet. We're just going to cut that off as well. After the machine's unwrapped, we want to look inside of the hopper. When the machines are shipped, there are some components that are shipped inside of the hopper. To get to the hopper, we undo these latches, fold this down. If we push it back in just slightly, we can pinch it and the whole front will fold down. Inside the hopper, you'll have a manual, the remote cord, which we can just hang over here on the cord holder, wheels, and the axle for the wheels. We also do want to remove the cardboard that's inside of the hopper. Now we'll fold this back up, pinch in the sides, and our hopper just closes right back up. Next, you're going to want to take time and read the manual. There's a lot of good information in here about maintenance, warranty, and all that stuff. You always want to make sure that you read the manual before you start operating the machine. Next, we're going to attach the wheels. So inside of this tool holder, there's also going to be a little brown paper bag that's going to hold the hardware to attach our wheels. Come over to the side of the machine and we'll just need to slide the machine off of the pallet slightly to be able to get those wheels on. Put your axle in. You'll get some washers and a couple of cotter pins. Put a washer on each side. Slide the wheel on. Put another washer on over top. Slide the cotter pin through. You can do this a number of different ways. I just use the nut driver, put that in there, and twist the axle. And then just repeat that on the other side. Now that we have the machine all taken care of, we're going to go ahead and unwrap the accessory. Each package will come with 3 boxes of 3-inch hose, 2 swivel connectors, 5 hose clamps, and 2 extension cords. Now we're going to go ahead and hook this all up. All right, now we've got the hose out, we're going to go ahead and attach this to the machine. We're going to take one end, slide a hose clamp on, and then we'll slide this hose onto the output tube of the machine. Get that pushed on to that tube, and then just screw the clamp down nice and snug. Now on the other end of the hose, we're going to take one of our swivel connectors, slide that in, slide the clamp over top, and tighten down on here. Now you're going to want to repeat this, put the next hose on, clamp, and so on until you have all 150 foot attached. One other thing I like to do is take some duct tape and put it over top of this clamp. Don't go across the swivel because then it won't swivel, but just putting a piece of duct tape across this, that way it's not scratching anything when it's being drugged through a house or cutting people's hands when they're rolling up the hose at the end of the day. Remember, just put it over the clamp, not over the swivel. Now we'll take our extension cords and plug in the machine. All right, so now that we have it plugged in, and when we plug it in, we want to make sure that we're on 2 separate circuits. If we're on the same circuit, we're going to keep tripping the breaker as we're running the machine, so make sure you're on 2 separate circuits. Turn on your main disconnect switch. Your voltage will read right here. We want to be right around 110 to 130 is when we're running this machine. If you have less power than that, try other power sources until you find that power. Once we have our disconnect switch on, we pull out the emergency stop, hit our green start button. If we have a green light, that means that we're ready to run. If we want to run it at the machine, we can turn the switch to blower. It'll turn on the blower. Agitator blower will give us material and air to blow the material. If we plug our remote cord into this outlet here, we have the same functions. We can turn on feed blower where we're getting material and air, and at the end of the day, we can turn on just blower to blow out the hose. Now, when you're first setting the machine up, this slide gate down here, if I'm blowing fiberglass, I'm usually going to use this crank handle and open it up to about 6 to 7 inches. And we only want to open it this far. If we open further, what happens is the material is going to run through the machine too fast and we're not going to get our coverage. And we're going to end up using more bags than what we should. After we have our gate set to 6 or 7, I start with the blower on high. And if we're up in the attic when we're blowing out, we want that material shooting out at about a 10-foot arc. So if we've got more than a 10-foot arc, we just back this blower down until we get that 10-foot arc. That pressure and that setting is going to get us pretty close to getting our coverage. Now, when you first start up the machine, when I turn this on, we are going to have an alarm. That's normal. If I'm up in the attic starting the machine with the remote cord, it's just telling my partner down in the truck throwing material in here that this machine's about to start. This beep is there for safety, so always make sure that that is functioning. If it's not, it could be really unsafe for the person down in the truck. That's the setup of the IDI 18E machine. Please reach out to your local rep if you have any questions or if we can do anything to help you. Please like and share and let us know if there's anything you need.